Hi, I'm J'nell Ciesielski, and today I'm going to be reading an excerpt from my latest book, To Free the Stars. It's the second in the Jack and Ivy novels, and we are picking up at a moment where talent agents Philip and Ivy are heading off to a speakeasy in order to have a little investigation from a crime lord. So let's see what they're up to. Emptiness crowded 16th Street by 11 o'clock with all the hard-working businessmen and upright citizen of the nation's capital tucked peacefully in their modest homes that quiet Tuesday night. Only two types of characters existed at this late hour, the graveyard shift workers and those up to no good. Ivy couldn't decide which they were as she stared up at the unassuming three-story facade of number 1020. Odd hours were expected of talent agents, and their work generally consisted of the nefarious kind, so perhaps they were of both ilk. After using a special key gifted only to those in the know, she and Philip entered the front door and made their way up the narrow stairs to the top floor where a few marked doors indicated offices and water closets. "Where to now?" Ivy's voice sounded too loud in the cramped space, particularly so since they hadn't spoken in the past hour. The cab ride had been tense, to say the least. Rather than reply, Philip strode to the men's room and walked in without a backward glance. She deliberated a moment before following. Philip stood at the sink. "Didn't think you'd come in." Keeping her eyes strictly forward, Ivy held her arms and hands close. She did not want to brush up against anything in this room. "As long as we don't have to stay in here for long." Not long at all. He twisted the faucet's handle, and the hutch containing hand towels, aftershave, and lotions swung away from the wall to reveal a hidden door. Ladies first. Ivy stepped through into a smaller chamber with a single flickering gaslight overhead. Philip joined her and clicked the hidden door back into place before turning to the enormous oil painting of former President and U.S. General Ulysses S. Grant, whose grandson once resided within these premises. Given his history with the bottle, he might have found it amusing that his family's home now sold giggle water under the government's very nose. It was right on Grant's nose where Philip rapped his knuckles. Grant's dark gray eyes peeled back to reveal two leery green ones. Password: Jelly Roll Morton. The portrait swung in, and out blared the sounds of clinking glasses, laughter, trumpet, and saxophone in a sin-worthy haven they called a speakeasy. Ivy and Philip stepped through the hole and beyond a curtain of heavy velvet into a world of illegal liquor, frothy champagne, rouge-kneed women, and men with wads of cash, all cavorting to the bright notes of swinging jazz. Philip swept a hand toward the ecstasy. "Welcome to the Gaslight Club." Ivy smoothed her expression into one of a woman who frequented unlawful clubs, yet inside she hummed with awe. This was by far the swankiest joint she'd seen, in cool tones of black, white, and silver. Gas lights burned between panels of mirrors circling the room that threw the light around like confetti. A sleek ebony bar stocked high with glittering bottles of all shapes and colors took up the entire right wall, while a stage packed with wailing musicians sat opposite. Dozens of small round tables and chairs filled the space between, while a bank of dimly lit booths cozied together at the far back. They found a table near the bar that offered a somewhat unrestricted view of the entire room and gave their order to a harried waiter in a starched apron and black tie, a gin ricky for Ivy, and a sidecar for Philip. "Spot him yet?" Philip asked once their drinks had been delivered. "Center back booth." Ivy pretended to sip her concoction as she scanned the scenes, implying she had all the time in the world. A girl next to him and two guards posted. Without skipping a beat, the band swung into the Charleston and sent all the bright young things into a frenzy. They jumped to their feet and made a dash to the dance floor, cramming together as their feet flew to the dance inspired by the song itself. Garters flashed on bare thighs, sweaty hands waved high in the air, bow ties loosened, and gin coursed all around like a liquid ribbon, flowing and smooth. Ivy tapped her toe, following the steps she knew so well. Perhaps on a night that didn't require her undivided attention, she might put on her own dancing shoes. Philip leaned close to be heard over the ruckus. "Your nose is shiny." Ivy's toe stopped tapping. She pushed away her unfinished string and picked up her handbag. "I better go powder it then." She left the table and asked a waiter for directions to the ladies' room, which was conveniently cordoned off by the velvet curtain at the entrance. Pausing behind the curtain, she gave a little pat of powder to her nose, which was indeed shiny thanks to the windowless room and numerous bodies. The band hopped into Dippermouth Blues. Drat, she adored this song. After slipping her compact into her handbag, she gathered all the air she could into her lungs, then tore through the curtain screaming, "Raid!" Thank you.